Welcome back, Pirate Crew. It's your Captain Yeehaw Yadam, and for today's video, we're going to be seeing how Luffy can adapt to the set 3 meta. So, Luffy, obviously a leader that I have a lot of love for. How does he change moving forward? Now, we have a really solid core for what Red looks like. Red has a very stabilized core, and those cards seem to be Curly D. Hold up, we got Curly D as a searcher for all of the powerful 1-drops the deck has, a 1-drop that can search, Gordon, and a card that can destroy. So I looked at the Whitebeard character cards, and obviously you guys saw how I did my Zoro deck profile for moving into set 3, and I think someone made a very interesting comment and said, why don't you just do this with Luffy? And I thought to myself, hot damn, I can. So this is what a Luffy deck to me would look like starting into set 3. We have access to all these very powerful cards. We have Curly D, which will go ahead and find us. The Makinos are very powerful Otamas. Maybe even Makino's better than Otama in this deck, but that's still too early to say, and very blasphemous of me if I may say so myself. We've got Izo to find our Whitebeard Pirates, Buggy to find our spells so we don't have to use Nami anymore, fantastic 2Ks, Marcos, Teach, may I say any more? I think the deck just adds a lot more consistency, because what made Luffy so powerful in set 2 was the fact that sometimes you just get to go back to back on Mute Gate, and that's very backbreaking, no pun intended. So if you're able to go ahead and do that more consistently, because Izo can find them, while also facilitating really powerful mid-game characters such as these Marcos, consistently finding very powerful events with Buggy, we might be in for a really strong deck. Not only that, we still get access to Gordon. Gordon Marco is fantastic. Gordon Pistol, Gordon Newgate, Gordon. I mean, I just really enjoy this card, honestly. The fact that it can just go ahead and decrease 5Ks to 2Ks is really, really good. But this deck actually KOs cards of the 3K stat line. So you can use Gordon in conjunction with Edward Newgate or the Marco to KO 6Ks, which is humongous, right? So I'm excited to see how this deck does. On paper, it looks great. So I'm hoping to see it can match up to my expectations, and we'll see what it can do after a couple test games. Let's go see what it has in store for us today. I'm lost. All right, so for our first game, we've already got Zoro. So this is already going to start winding up to be a good one. Now, we opted to go first. Obviously, the red versus red mirror match, we want to go ahead and do that as best as possible. And this hand isn't bad, but it just ain't good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and mulligan it and hope to not get a worse hand. And spicy. We'll go ahead and draw some Dawn here and play our Izo. Izo's going to go ahead and find us a Marco while bottom decking a couple of really very powerful cards and passing our turn. So if we can get to the late game with this deck, my goodness, is he in store for a tough one. So I'm actually just going to... Don't really have much else to do, so I'm just going to 5-5. It's 5-5 time, baby. And he took the first one. Will he take the second one? He actually counters out of the second one. So it looks like he's playing another white-bearded version of the deck as well as I am. So let's see what he does with it. He goes ahead and plays Curly D. Curly D always finds Nami and Zoro. That's just a true combo. Nami's going to go ahead and look for something. She finds the Gum Gum Jet Pistol. He plays the Makino and swings into my Izo. That's perfectly fine with me. And he goes ahead and passes. I'm going to go ahead and draw some Dawn here. And I draw an Otama. Now at 5 Dawn, you know what card is really solid at 5 Dawn? Marco. Now Marco's just going to go ahead and it's going to be taking care of the Makino, as that card is just a little bit too influential at this point in time. I'm going to go ahead and attach a rested Dawn to my Marco actually and attack for 5. This is just to play around a Jet Pistol in life. Maybe it's not even that bad, because if he does Jet Pistol on me in life, I use his ability to come back and pop another card. But I'm trying to be as conservative as I possibly can with this leader. Now, I know he has the Jet Pistol, and if he wants to go and attach 1, 2, 3, 4 energy to it to pop him, I'm perfectly fine with that. He opts not to do so, so he goes 6 at my lead. I will take it, as that's the first damage he deals to me. He has the Makino. Oh man, he's asking me to clear his entire board. I'm down, homie. Seeing the way that he's playing this just means that I'm going to go ahead and take almost all of these hits. He goes and he says, you know what, 7. I'll take this one too, brother. And he passes it right back to me. He has the Radical Beam still up, and I have 7 Dawn to work with here. Now with 7 Dawn, that's a pretty good amount. I'm going to go ahead and swing probably into the 3, into the 2, and I could go ahead and play out another Marco, but that taxes a lot of my turn. I do only get to deploy one character here, and I guess if I'm going to deploy anything, I'm at 7. Next turn I'll be at 9. So I don't want to get too low, so it probably is just... I'm going to save you for later. I'm going to go ahead and deploy this and pass my turn. Unfortunately, I don't have another card to really combo off here. I really wish I did. Like any one drop of that, like a Curly to Dawn here would have been so crazy to go Curly, summon a card, he goes and plays it. I'm going to use card action to pitch my my Teach and go ahead and resummon him. He's going to go ahead and swing at me for 5. I don't think I'm summoning Teaches, so I think no blocker, resolve attack, use card action, pitch a Teach. And he passes it up to me. I go ahead and draw some Dawn here. And this turn, he's going to have to feel it. I'm going to go ahead and deploy my Newgate. Use my Leader's ability. And I'm going to go 7/7. And yeah, he has 2 Dawn up, but that's perfectly fine with me. I'm going to go 7 into 7. Going to have to give me those cards. He goes down to 2 life, and I'm going to pass my turn here. With the Marco acting as a very powerful blocker, we'll see exactly what he's got to work with. Now, I know he has the Jet Pistol, but he still then has to come at me at 7k, which is quite a bit. So we'll see. He goes in and plays the Buggy. The Buggy seems to have whiffed. Unfortunate, man. Gonna go ahead and use the Makino's ability. Give her 3, 4, 5, 6. Still needs 1 more. Gonna go ahead and swing into the Marco here. Interesting. This is a very bizarre way to use your Dawn, because you could have just used this differently. Now I'm gonna go ahead and no blocker, pitch my Marco. Make it so that he has to really work for it if he wants to go ahead and KO it. Gonna go ahead and... just let it go through. Nope, no, I'm not gonna use the card action. I'm not gonna do anything there. And he's just gonna pass. Wow, left up a lot of Dawn this turn. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play another Newgate. I'm gonna activate my Leader's ability here to place another, and I probably go ahead and do another. I'll go 7. As I'm not really afraid of dying here, I'm gonna go ahead and use 12, pop the Makino. He takes this one, and then I'm gonna pass. And now I can start blocking without any real repercussion. I can actually even Ezo find another one of pops and then just make it so much worse. But we're not out of this game just yet, right? His deck just has a lot of value, and we have to go ahead and see exactly how we navigate it. So he's going to go ahead and swing at me for 7. I take it. I misclick. I shouldn't have taken that one. Goes ahead and swings at me for 7 again. I think I'm going to go ahead and pitch my Ezo here, as I do want to play another one of these probably next turn. Maybe Marco needs to go. Tough to say. Swing at me for 8. 8 should fetch a 2k. He has 4 Dawn left, so I probably want to keep this one to use it in conjunction with my Newgate. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Jozu. And he's probably going to play a Marco here. He actually doesn't. So if I just attach my Dawn offensively here, I think he's just going to have a really bad time. But before we go ahead and do that, let's go ahead and deploy this. Now, this is going to find me a Buggy, and I want to see what my Buggy pulls for me here. Buggy's going to find me a Pistol, which is not what I was looking for. And then we can go ahead and still use our cards offensively, right? So let's see here. We'll go ahead and use Luffy's ability to attach a Dawn here, attach a Dawn here, and we'll go ahead and swing and pop. Will he take this? Now, I know this can't really find me any sort of, like, event, so I'm not. He's going to go ahead and... That's bizarre. Okay. And that should be enough to just defend his turn and win off the back of my characters. So he's gonna go ahead and pistol. Don't need to bring him back. That's perfectly fine. He's gonna go ahead and pistol me again. That's not gonna do anything. Just not going to bring it back. He's going to go ahead and swing at me for 7, and then he has 2 Dawn available there, so that's another 7. I'm going to let one of them go through. No blockers. Going to go ahead and Radical Beam this, and it's going to go back to my turn. And honestly, guys, I know that I shouldn't do this, but you kind of have to summon the 3rd Whitebeard, right? And I'm going to do it just to disrespect him. Oh, dang it, he disconnected. He must have overheard me. But if you can't play the 3rd Whitebeard, by the way, guys, you have to go ahead and say, I've never done this before. And then you summon him on. Then when you do that, that's actually a true combo. You immediately win the game after that. So had he not disconnected, this turn was very simple. It was play a Newgate, 7, 10, 12, right? And that's going to be, the 7 is going to proc 2 cards. The 10 is going to be unblockable already, but just in case, he still has to deal with the 12. And that just shows exactly what Luffy can do. I know I mulliganed into a very late game S-Can, and it just seemed to work as his deck was a little bit too slow to deal with the back-to-back Whitebeards. And I know a lot of times people are talking about how Zoro just doesn't play the 9-drop anymore. And if they don't play the 9-drop and I play the 9-drop, oh boy, we're in for a good one. So the deck did show exactly what we wanted it to do, and I think I was able to showcase exactly how powerful I do think this Luffy deck can be. With some fine tinkering, we might have something to work with here. So if you guys like this sort of video, make sure to hit a like down below, leave a comment in the comment section, and as always, if you haven't joined the Pirate Crew just yet and are considering subscribing, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button. Yeah. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.